and welcome to your NBL Canada playoff preview. I am Brett Hedges, he is Kobe K, and the 1-4 matchup in the Atlantic Division will pit the defending champion Halifax Hurricanes against the Moncton Miracles. Now, the regular season series was in favor of Halifax 7-1, and they won those games by an average margin of victory of 14 points. But that doesn't mean that a 5-game series could mean a different story for the Moncton Miracles. Now, let's take a look at some of our head-to-head matchup numbers from this past season.
Like we talked about, the Halifax Hurricanes dominating the Moncton Miracles 7-1. And when we look at the numbers throughout this series, it certainly showed in terms of 7 games versus 1. The points per game were fantastic, 111.4, a +8.4 in that department. They were a +5 in terms of field goal percentage at 49%. Moncton did best Halifax in terms of the 3-ball. They were a +4 there at 33%, but we know that the 3-point ball isn't necessarily part of the Halifax winning formula. The rebounds per game, the Halifax Hurricanes own 50 big boards per game, a +4.6 in that department, and 21.6 assists per game, a +5 there.
Now that we've taken a look at some of the numbers between the two clubs, let's take a look at how these two clubs got here specifically.
And for the Halifax Hurricanes, a dynamic and hot start, 9-0 out of the gate, never looked back, really dominating the Atlantic Division. Before the Moncton Miracles, needing every single game of the regular season to punch their ticket into the postseason, and including an exciting victory over the Cape Breton Highlanders to close the regular season.
Who knows, maybe that momentum could carry over into the 5-game playoffs. Now, head coach of the Moncton Miracles, Paul McKeskey, has a great deal of respect for his opposition. He knows his team will try to make this a fast-paced game, a gritty, hard-nosed defensive game, and they'll have to limit their turnovers.
You know, they've been a solid team all year. They've played very good basketball throughout the 40-game season. They started out on fire and have been consistently good all year long. They're a veteran team with veteran players that have been there before. They don't make many mistakes. They're number 1 in the league in assist-turnover ratio. They're number 1 in the league in points defense. They're a really good percentage scoring team, and it's going to be an interesting series. Hopefully, you know, we can get our engines going a little bit and get them in a little better high-paced game that fits us a little better. And it's going to be a series of wills of who can make the other team play the way they want to play for the most of the game and for most of the series.
And for Coach Leslie Brett, the Miracles know that they can score at a high clip when they get it going, and it's very important that they don't lose sight of it.
Who shoot the ball well from the 3-point line, and on any given night, if a combination of those players get hot, they can score some points on you. So you really need to be concerned about that and pay attention to that, because if for any reason you sort of shy away from staying at home on some of those guys, they can put up some big numbers on any night. I just think we need to be consistent with our play overall, and that's probably the thing that when we've been successful and playing well, we're playing very consistent. The numbers, the stats-wise that we go by, point to a certain combination, that if we meet that combination, it's resulted in wins every single time. And when we haven't met those numbers, it's resulted in losses every single time. So we're very clear on how it is that we need to play. It's just a matter of, are we able to execute to that level each game.
Now let's take a look at some of our impact players to watch in the Halifax Hurricanes and Moncton Miracles series.
And for the Miracles, who other than Melvin Johnson III? Really, Brad, a 3-point sniper coming off the bench before moving into the starting lineup. 19 points per game and a red-hot 40% from downtown. And for the Halifax Hurricanes, it's Cliff Clinkscales, the veteran who's been there before. He has done it, has finals experience, 7.5 assists per game, but he's a guy that knows the point guard position.
Best of luck to the Halifax Hurricanes and the Moncton Miracles in their best-of-5 first-round series. Stay tuned to NBLCanada.com for more playoff information, and make sure you enjoy the pursuit.